Hi everyone, this is Anne-Marie Julian Wetzel. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I am here to do a quick tutorial on how to do embossing. I did a poll on one of my Facebook pages recently as to what tools did you want to learn about. And many of you said, I'd like to see how to do embossing. So here I am going to show a quick tutorial. I am using the More Messages stamp set. I love this stamp set. It is a cling stamp, but this process can be used with photopolymer, and it has all of these sentiments. This is a single stamp, and then there's a die that coordinates it with it. So I'm not going to show you the die cutting process of it, but I will show you the stamping. Now to emboss, what you will need is either a Versamark ink pad, and it is a clear ink pad, or something that is a pigment ink. So I shouldn't say just pigment ink, because our Stampin' Up! Ink pads will also work. These pads are a sponge, so they stay wet. So as long as you're quick to stamp on this with color and then use a clear embossing powder, you will get an embossed image. So that's one of the nice things about having the sponge stamp pad from Stampin' Up! I am going to be using gold embossing powder, but there's silver, there's copper, tons of different color options that Stampin' Up! Offers, or you could find them elsewhere. And then you will need a Stampin' Buddy. This takes all of the static off of your cardstock and prevents any powder that you do not want where it shouldn't be. Okay, so let's get started. I am going to be using my Misty here. And I apologize for the glare. Let's see if I can get rid of that glare. Yep. And I have my piece of White Daisy cardstock. So again, I'm going to take my Buddy, and I am just going to rub that around. And then I'm going to take the Versamark, and because this is such a large stamp, I am going directly onto the stamp. This is already set up in my platform here. And that's because if I missed something, then I can go back and re-ink up. So I'm going to go straight down and press down on it. And you should see like an image. You might not see it on camera here, but you should see if there is an image. And this is such a thick, so I'm going to just try to do it one more time. And I'm going to remove this magnet in case this magnet just pressing down here. I want to make sure I get a good impression, and I think I do. So I'm going to lift this off, set this aside. I'll clean that off, and I'm going to take my embossing powder. And you know what? I am going to take, usually I use a coffee filter to catch this excess, but I'm just going to pour this on. And this goes a long, long way. Your embossing powder will last a while. You can get a lot done with it. As you can see, just a couple of more areas that I did not cover. Okay, and then I am just going to take a little paintbrush, and this, although I think that would get cut out, I'm just going to clear off some places that are sticking that shouldn't stick. So as you can see, it is kind of a dull, right? So now we're going to use a heat embossing gun. I'm just going to put these excess here, back, just pour that right back in. Set this aside, close this up because you do not want embossing powder to blow all over the place. And this is going to be a little bit loud. I typically will hold it with tweezers and I have to heat up my gun. So here is the heat gun. You start seeing the magic. Once you have the powder on, you can set this aside. If you were going to do lots of embossing at the same time, it's just you do not want that Versamark to get dried out. So you can see how that's turning now. My gun is getting hot. And you don't want to overheat it either, because then you'll get this burnt look on, or burnt like on your paper. Almost done, I think. Right, I think this might need it. All right, so I'm going to bring this up close so you guys can see. Look at that gold foiled look. And I am just checking it over to make sure that I have heated everything. And I think I did. I did have a splotch there, so I could have wiped that away. But let me show you with the die. This actually sets right over, and I will run this through my die cutting machine, and I will have all of these labels all set. And I actually have a workshop that's coming up that will use some of these. So this is as simple as that. Just a few steps to take with a stamp, Versamark, or an ink pad, your embossing powder, whether it's gold, silver, or clear, or other colors. There are tons of colors out there. And then you stamp your sentiment and put your powder and heat it up, and you are good to go. I hope you enjoy this quick tutorial and have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye now.